Hey, my name is RJ Robles. My pronouns are they, he, and I know Dr. Fredrikka Joy Maxwell as a friend, as a poet, as a community member, as a disabled activist, and also as a member of the trans community. Wow. So Dr. Fredrikka Joy Maxwell was a poet, an educator, community organizer, somebody with a fierce heart for the community, and was loving and tender in all the ways, and just somebody who was outspoken, kept showing up year after year, day after day, month after month for Black trans liberation, for Black queer liberation, and for Black trans disabled liberation. I got to experience really the last several years with her. Once she started getting a little bit sick, I started visiting her at the hospital. I used to work there, so it was just pretty easy for her to call on me and be like, hey, little brother, can you come and just check up on me? And I'd be like, yes, I got you, don't worry. And through that grew a relationship. We just got a little closer. I got to know more about her siblings. I got to know more about her life overall, and like the ways in which she worked so hard for the betterment of the community, for more access to spaces and places. She would do poetry across Nashville in different spaces over the years too as well. But I was fortunate enough to hear her at Trans Day of Remembrance almost yearly for about the last decade when she would come, when she was still attending in person. And it was beautiful to get to hear her poems, to get to hear her life story through poems, and also the ways in which she gave calls to action through poetry. Just so thankful for that time together. Just really been thankful for that time together. I think her biggest legacy was loving. Unconditional love, like just for the people, for her family, for her loved ones, for her chosen family, for her sisters, for her trans sisters, for her sister, bio family. I think she just embodied this kind of spirit, but she was also very vulnerable and willing to take risks, and vulnerable enough to speak up when something wasn't right. She really left a legacy of teaching young folks like myself, younger folks, coming up through the ranks of being trans, being queer, being of Afro descent, being somebody who just also is trans, and noticing like, wow, she's my elder, right? Like an elder just passed away, and that's been something that's just been a little bit rough. Just how she managed to do it all. I mean, I really don't know, right? Like she was a churchgoer for such a long time. She was a church member, active church member, and she was also just very much so passionate about the issues at hand, right? She was very aware of what was going on here in the legislative sessions in the state of Tennessee, but she was also deeply aware of what was happening across the country, across the South, across the nation. For her, I think she just was so resilient in especially the last couple of years of being in and out of the hospital, just the resiliency that took, the strength that took, and I just admire her for centering her health, her body, and how she practiced that kind of practice of taking care of herself, because she knew that she can mobilize people, she can go and attend an event or speak or share her poetry or provide a workshop or facilitate a difficult conversation, but she could also like not forget about her own health. And that was something that she taught me. She taught that balance to a lot of people, how to balance out taking care of yourself and also showing up for movement.